Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Olajide Bello. Many thanks for joining us, and you can follow this news live on our website nta.ng/live and NTA News Now and other social media platforms displayed on the screen. Activities marking the Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebrations for the year 2023 were rounded off across Nigeria with the commemorative wreath-laying ritual at the cenotaph of the unknown soldier. President Muhammadu Buhari presided over the epoch-making, solemn and symbolic event at the National Arcade in Abuja, the nation's capital. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
A grateful Nigerian nation once again remembers her fallen heroes, those who paid the ultimate price for its sake and that of humanity. Their sacrifices during the World Wars, the Nigerian Civil War, as well as various peace support operations around the world returns to the front burner. It is also an opportunity to spare a thought for the incapacitated compatriots and veterans, those left behind by the departed heroes, and the troops still actively engaged in the daunting task of preserving national security. For President Muhammadu Buhari, this year's wreath-laying ritual in honor of the fallen heroes and those still battling to protect and defend the nation's integrity is the 8th and indeed the last he will be performing as Commander-in-Chief. So also the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibanjo. They were joined at the solemn occasion by Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker Femi Bajabiamila of the House of Representatives, Chief Justice of Nigeria, as well as the Ministers of Defense and the FCT. The fallen heroes were also honored by the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police, as well as representatives of the Diplomatic Corps, the Nigerian Legion, and widows of the fallen heroes. Special prayers were offered for the repose of the souls of the departed soldiers, peace, unity, and stability of the country, as well as successful elections and transition to the next administration.
To our fallen heroes, grant eternal rest to them, and to their families, sustain them with both material favors and also new opportunities.
Grant our soldiers victory over our avowed enemies. Amen. We pray also for our wounded colleagues. Please strengthen them in their frailties and assist them to recover quickly.
The 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day activities, kicked off by the presidency on November 16 last year, formally came to a close with a symbolic release of pigeons by President Muhammadu Buhari. From the National Archive, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The federal government is taking deliberate measures to enhance welfare and security of veterans, and as such, first step, President Muhammadu Buhari is approving debarment allowance for gallant soldiers. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, stated this while featuring on the NTA network flagship program, Weekend File.
Those who retired before 2017, where some of the administrative documents were reviewed to include what we call security debarment allowance, which hitherto catered for those who retired from 2017 to date. But of course, because of the magnanimity of Mr. President, that has been reviewed, and then now involves those who retired prior to 2017.
General Lucky Rabo noted that the Defense Headquarters has different welfare packages for military veterans and those that have paid the supreme sacrifice.
Veterans up to university level.
As the nation mark the 2023 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day, Nigerians are enjoined to extend the hands of fellowship to the families of the nation's fallen heroes and to provide intelligence reports to complement security operations. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has advocated for a renewed funding of the security sector with focus not only on military hardware but welfare of personnel and veterans. Adeleke stated this while laying wreath at the cenotaph in Osogbo, celebration of the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Femi Afariogun has the details.
"21 symbolic gun salute by a combined contingent of the Nigerian Armed Forces for those who paid the supreme price for peace and unity of Nigeria." Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke led government functionaries, security agencies, traditional rulers, and families of fallen heroes to pay respect to them. Governor Adeleke, who salutes the courage of the fallen heroes and the Legion, is advocating for a new national dialogue on sustainable funding of the armed forces.
We must innovate to care sufficiently for the welfare of service personnel and veterans. Neglecting welfare of service personnel is a disservice to effective national defense.
But there is no vehicle for us, and at the same time, we need subvention.
Governor Adeleke also inspected the Guard of Honor in Osogbo. Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
The Benue State government has reaffirmed its commitment in supporting the military and other security agencies towards living up to their mandate of defending the nation's territorial space. Governor Samuel Otom said this at the grand finale of the 2023 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day held at the Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida Square, Makadi. Elias Itiaf reports.
The day also seeks to appreciate the invaluable sacrifices of 7 officers who have continued to lay down their lives in defense of their fatherland.
So if the government can once in a while be giving soft loans or welfare to them so that they can better the lives of the widows and the families of the widows, it to be okay.
For the soldiers that are still serving, I want them to know that they will have to prepare for their families.
Governor Samuel Otom, represented by the Deputy Governor Benson Abonu and other personalities who performed the laying of wreath ceremony at the foot of the unknown soldier, noted that their efforts remain memorable in the sands of time.
We acknowledge the wonderful contribution they have made, first to the stability of this nation, secondly to the defense and keeping the territorial integrity of the nation.
No amount of money given to them or their family is commensurate with their sacrificed life. And this shows that in Nigeria we don't need war. We need unity. We need oneness.
The event was also clamorous with a minute silence in remembrance of the fallen heroes, a 21-gun salute, and the release of pigeons signifying peace in Nigeria. In Makudi, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has joined other leaders in paying respect to the heroes of the armed forces who lost their lives in service. Abdullahi Umaru Ilalu reports.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu led the heads of various security agencies and the traditional institutions in the state to honor the nation's fallen and living heroes. Governor Bagudu said the sacrifice made by the fallen heroes was supreme and marked the symbol of the nation's unity. He reiterated commitment and support to the servicemen and families of the fallen heroes.
Kebbi State appreciate your contribution, and I'm sure I speak the mind of all the people of Kebbi State when I say a big thank you to all of you.
The Kebbi State chairman of the Nigerian Legion, Garba Hassan Suru, thanked Governor Bagudu for the maximum attention given to the welfare of the legionnaires in the state.
The laudable plan by the state government to allocate some plots of land for a special purpose to the legionnaires in the Emirate. In view of this, we are requesting for your excellency's personal intervention to our discourse so as to hasten the implementing processes of the state allocation in the Emirate, as well as three other emirates in the state.
The Kebbi State government has donated 20 million naira to the state chapter of the Nigerian Legion in commemoration of the week in Birnin Kebbi. Abdullah Umar Ilalu, NTA.
Governor Maimala Buni has joined his counterparts across the Federation in wreath laying in honor of the nation's fallen heroes who sacrificed their lives for the peace, unity and progress and development of the country and border security. Yunusa Suleiman brings the details.
Armed Forces Remembrance Day is a day set aside by the federal government to honor fallen heroes who laid down their lives in the First and Second World Wars, the Nigerian Civil War, peace support operations, as well as internal security operations, particularly the ongoing war against insurgency in the Northeast region. The annual national event in Yobe State also provides an opportunity to appreciate and honor war veterans who are still alive for their immense sacrifices and a medium for soliciting financial and material support to them and the families of fallen heroes.
First is the redemption of the pledges. The government have been trying their best. Let the individuals follow suit. Let them do the way the government is doing. Okay?
This year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day in the state featured free medical outreach to aged ex-servicemen who are suffering from some underlying ailments, courtesy of the Defense Health Maintenance Limited in collaboration with Sector 2 Operation Adinkai. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, has sent out a message of commendation and gratitude to members of the Nigerian Armed Forces on the occasion of this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Tinubu, in a statement by his media office, said the nation owes members of the armed forces, past and present, a huge debt of gratitude for keeping the country together as one and defending its territorial integrity even at the risk of their lives. The APC presidential candidate assures veterans and those in active service that if elected president, he will join hands with them in ensuring that Nigeria defeats every threat to her nationhood. The 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day is breathing fresh air for retired and service gallant soldiers who have made history on or on the verge of making one for the security of every dimension of our national life. In this background report, Ismail Musa tells us more.
Once wives of gallant military personnel, now widows of the nation. A rather emotion-laden moment at the last year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Abuja as they lay wreath in memory and honor of military and other security personnel that paid the supreme sacrifice in the cause of protecting Nigeria and Nigerians.
Seeing the pictures of these young heroes who paid the supreme sacrifice in their prime, it makes the hearts bleed. They forgot about their today and laid down their lives for this nation. It bleeds my heart as a mother and as a wife.
The annual event, formerly Remembrance Day, was first held on the 11th November 1919 throughout the Commonwealth nations to commemorate the armistice agreement that ended the First World War. It was later domesticated and shifted to 15 January to commemorate servicemen of the Nigerian Armed Forces, veterans of the First and Second World Wars, and to honor security personnel that lost their lives during the Civil War.
participated in many operations like Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Yugoslavia. So we God spare our life. So we thank God for all His infinite mercy.
In recognition of the contributions of retired armed forces personnel, a dedicated department was created at the Ministry of Defense, while 134.7 billion naira was recently released for the payment of debarment allowance of the military veterans.
Since this government came into office, the government has never delayed the payment of their pensions. And those who are retiring, their benefits are paid to them immediately as they are retiring.
In keeping the aspirations of the nation's fallen heroes alive and to further secure Nigeria, the armed forces are conducting different internal security operations in most of the geopolitical zones. To ensure the success of these operations, the federal government procured several arms and platforms for the Nigerian military. These include mine-resistance ambush-protected vehicles to reduce improvised explosive device-related casualties, a major threat to the ongoing counter-insurgency operations.
We will say a very big thank you to the Nigerian army. They have tried hard, and we are urging them and encouraging them to keep more efforts.
President Muhammadu Buhari has never relented. There is never a thing we have asked that he have not provided or make effort to provide. So it's in that way that we have gotten everything we are getting, and we are still receiving and inducting a lot of equipment in the theaters, and that account to a great extent also for the successes we are recording across the theaters of operation.
Every 15th January is a symbol of remembrance and a beacon of hope for a peaceful future, with unspoken message to the nation's fallen heroes that their sacrifice was a noble cause. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And Adeola is standing by in Lagos for stories making the rounds from that zone. Adeola.
Thank you, Olajide. Lagos State will continue to place priority on the well-being of families of armed forces personnel who paid the ultimate price to ensure the unity of Nigeria is sustained. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated this at this year's Armed Forces and Remembrance Day in Lagos. Musa Toliat completes the report.
Inspection of the Guard of Honor by the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, who represented the governor, sets the tone for the commencement of this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Lagos. Accompanied by Armed Forces Service Commanders, Commissioner of Police and Chairman, Nigerian Legion, Lagos State Council, the Deputy Governor proceeded to the wreath-laying arcade to honor the fallen heroes.
Appreciate all their efforts, and Lagos as a state has always and will always support the military and all the paramilitary agencies that are responsible for maintaining our security. We continue to support them.
21 gun salute was an integral part of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Blaze of pigeons and balloons symbolizes peace and celebration of life.
Last year we did empowerment. Mr. Governor approved a large sum of money. We did empowerment, and that will not stop. We are still going to continue with that.
There's need to motivate those who are serving through the welfare package being dished out in a reasonable manner to those who have served, because those who are serving will be looking back at those who have retired.
January 15 has remained a day set aside to commemorate the annual Armed Forces Remembrance Day across the country. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And 4 suspects, including naval personnel, have been apprehended by the Nigeria Police Zone 2 Command for conspiracy to commit fraud, robbery, and for receiving stolen vehicles. The Police Public Relations Officer Zone 2, Hawa Idris Adamu, who represented the Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 2 Command, disclosed this to journalists in Lagos. Lane Leneke reports.
The Nigerian police is not relenting in ensuring that the lives and property of Nigerians are safe. They exemplified this with the latest arrest of a gang of car snatchers. They were apprehended in the Lagos and Ogun State area of responsibility. Leader of the syndicate, who claimed he served in the Nigerian Navy for 22 years, also confessed to have received more than 15 units of vehicle from his accomplices.
Oyewole Femi was arrested again in 2019, and this time around he was arrested alongside with Joshua Adeleke, male, and Kabiru Ismail for similar offences then by the defunct SAS operatives. Upon discovering that he is a serving naval officer, he was handed over to his formation for disciplinary actions.
The Nigerian police added that the suspects, who have been operating since 2018, were in possession of 3 stolen vehicles, 2 gold-colored Sienna and a white Toyota Camry. Swift intervention of the intelligence team and other operatives led to the success achieved.
That criminals that usually operate within the zonal command, the zone 2 command, that is Lagos and Ogun states, should better look for other alternative or choose a better profession that will save them.
The police says there is no hiding place for criminals in the state, as it will continue to frustrate their efforts. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
You are still watching the news on the network service of the NTA. Kaduna is our next stop on Nationwide. But do not forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. To stay with us.
Truth untold. We restored democracy. We initiated due process. We created the EFCC and ICPC. We brought Nigeria out of debt by achieving $18 billion worth of relief and $30 billion overall reduction. We revived the rail system. We upgraded agriculture. We brought in the mobile phone and digitalized Nigeria. Under the PDP, the Nigerian economy was the strongest in Africa. Though Nigerians made their choice, today we all know better. Nigerians, do not despair. Hope is in the horizon. We are putting in the work and refreshing our drive to rescue and rebuild Nigeria. Together, let's make it happen. PDP, power to the people.
Once people get lifted to a certain level, they start feeling godlike.
What would you attribute this backwardness in education to in the not to date?
What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
The program is reflections.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
On the network service of the NTA, and still talking about the significance of the day, Kaduna State Government marks this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day with full of praises to the gallant officers and commitment by the government to continue supporting their families and armed forces to succeed in its fight against insurgency. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Nigeria every 15th of January. Military officers and many, including the ex-servicemen, converge to remember the fallen heroes, their colleagues who have paid the supreme price while defending their beloved country, Nigeria. And it is the same thing happening here in Kaduna at the historic Ahmadu Bello Stadium.
It was a heart-touching moment as the officers unmanned beat the drum, while others fired the gun salute signifying the end of time of a soldier, the respect of the departed souls of their colleagues.
We'll be measuring the incidences and the numbers of people kidnapped and killed, and the numbers have gone down considerably. We are very grateful. So we continue to pray for the military and the security agencies for their sacrifices, and we should continue to encourage them.
This will be the last time the state governor Nasiru Ahmad El-Rufai will be performing this military tradition. Whosoever succeeded him as the next governor is going to join the officers next year to celebrate and to remember the fallen heroes, probably in this same venue.
I was opportune to meet Adamupala, an ex-serviceman who fought civil war.
I fought the civil war just for a day, because when I came in, the civil war was on. After some days, it went off. It was terrible, because we lost a lot of people. I'm happy. I praise God. I praise God for being alive.
The prayer and hope of Adamupala and other ex-servicemen is for this country to continue to pray for them for their sacrifice and service to this country. In Kaduna, Umara Jingi, NTA News.
And away from Kaduna, we move to Jigawa, where the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 1, Edet Ayuba Ekpeji, has reassured electorates maximum security in Jigawa and other states in the zone during the forthcoming general elections. Shehu Muhammad Dechi reports that the AIG gave the assurance while on a visit to the Emir of Dutse, Dr. Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi. The report.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police was in Jigawa State just 2 months after he assumed duty in the zone. He is here to familiarize himself with the Jigawa State Commander of the Police and other stakeholders for effective police in the zone. The Assistant Inspector General of Police was at the Emir's Palace to pay homage and seek for support and cooperation in discharging his duty and to also solicit for the Emir's blessing. Speaking on the forthcoming general elections, the AIG affirmed the readiness of the police in providing adequate security to ensure hitch-free elections in the state. Edet Ayuba used the opportunity to seek the support of relevant stakeholders in all the state to succeed in fighting criminal acts within the zone. The Emir of Dutse, Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi, appreciated the visit by the AIG, describing the current leadership of the police as vibrant in the fight against criminals. He expressed optimism that the police are equal to the task of ensuring hitch-free elections not only in Jigawa State but the entire nation. He admonished all other security agencies to coordinate and give maximum cooperation in the task ahead. The Assistant Inspector General of Police is expected to visit all police formations in Jigawa State. In Dutse, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
And that completes our package from here. Let's rejoin Olajide in Abuja for more reports on Nationwide. Good evening.
Many thanks, Salamatu from our Kaduna Network Center. Moving on, they stayed awake so citizens can sleep with both eyes closed. They slept in the trenches so people could sleep in the comfort of their beds. Some paid the supreme sacrifice so that others could fulfill their dreams. But how is the society responding to these set of Nigerians at the twilight of their existence? Ekenendulwe reports.
Yohana Wakili from Kaduna State has been retired from the Nigerian Army since 1999. Though he considers himself one of the lucky ones to leave the service alive, he says things have not been easy for his household since retirement. His case is not different from that of many other Nigerian veterans and the families they left behind.
Now, even though one of us sick now, to get money to go to hospital, nothing for us.
If some of us have children, the children nowadays no use to help us.
Their plight is not lost on the government of the day, who has ensured that pensions are paid regularly. And another good news is payment of security debarment allowance for all veterans is also in the kitty.
With the review, all those veterans that are excluded from benefiting from the security debarment allowance will now be included and paid.
The Nigerian Legion, however, believes that taking care of these heroes and their families should not be left for government alone.
The government cannot do it alone. The Legion office cannot do it alone because many people see us like a beggar. We go around in order to solicit for funds to be able to help these people. When we even go to some offices, they look at us as if these people have come again.
All over the world, you will see that most of the assistance really come from private organization, public organization, and individuals, spirited individuals that want to put a smile on the lives of the those who are left behind by people that have put their life on the line for the country.
Apparently, Yohana Wakili and other veterans need a new lease of life. So, how have you added value, or what have you done for a veteran today? Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Themes of patriotism, sacrifice, peace, unity and remembrance echoed at the National Arcade, where defense correspondent Najatu Tijani interviewed some dignitaries and lessons learned from the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
It has been 53 years since the Civil War ended, and ever since, Nigeria has marked this day, not only to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, but as a reminder that defending the land and abiding by the laws of Nigeria is the responsibility of every citizen. Military life reminds Nigerians of traditions and virtues and concepts of respect, obedience, and honor to the fatherland. And I have a few dignitaries here as well who will be talking about what this means for the nation. I have the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, that is Boss Mustafa. It's very amazing to have you join us here, sir. Now, what parallels can we draw considering this is an election year?
It will remind us of the fact that the need for peace and unity in this country is apparently important, and that we must do everything humanly possible within our limited capacities to ensure that during the processes of the electioneering and also the eventual outcome of the elections, that peace and tranquility is maintained in this nation.
You are seeing the widows of the fallen heroes. You are seeing the orphans of the fallen heroes, the men who laid down their dear lives for country to be at peace. So many other young men will be proudly and gallantly joining the force because they know even when they are gone, they still remain alive and immortalized. We also provide succor. We take down food. For instance, in days like this, we take down, palliatives. We give support, sometimes even by personal extensions.
Like when there is a day of sober reflection, they bring their sacrifice. And I'm grateful to the president and his members of the armed forces that make us know that even Nigerians, that their labor was never in vain. Because now we're living another life outside the barrack. We've moved out of the barrack. It's a different way entirely. Nigeria should find a place. How do we help these widows to find another life again?
A valid point there being raised by the national president of the Military Widows Association, saying that every Nigerian should be his brother's keeper, not just welfare for the military. We've come to the end of the solemn occasion, called most solemn because the fallen heroes have been remembered here today. Signing out and thanking you for joining us.
Many thanks, Najatu, for that insight. Edo State government has called on relevant authorities to investigate the alleged negligence of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, which led to the kidnap of almost 30 persons at the Igweben train station in Edo State. This was when Governor Godwin Obaseki visited 12 newly released victims at the Magnus Eweke Cottage Hospital in Benin City. Elizabeth Omoko reports.
Governor Godwin Obaseki recalled that on March 28, 2022,
A Kaduna-bound train was attacked by armed bandits, during which about 8 persons were killed and tens of others kidnapped. On 7th of January this year, similar incident occurred at Igwebe train station in Edo, where almost 30 persons were kidnapped. Wondering how the railway corporation would deploy just one policeman to guard the Igwebe train station after the incident in Kaduna, Governor Basake says the Igwebe train station attack will affect Nigeria's confidence in the railway transportation.
For 6 men to have come into their facility to kidnap almost 30 people, I think is something that has to be investigated.
The governor revealed that information has indicted some traditional rulers in the area who have disobeyed government directive on grazing.
I've instructed that those traditional rulers will be investigated, and anyone who's found to be harboring people they should not harbor in their domain will have questions to answer.
The State Commissioner of Police speaks on efforts of the operatives to ensure all those kidnapped are released alive.
From the intelligence gathered that they are roaming around that area. So yesterday night, the security forces laid an ambush in trying to move the people from one area to the other. They intercepted them.
So far, 22 victims held hostage have been rescued alive, with 2 still left in the kidnappers' den. In Benin, Elizabeth Amoko, NTA News.
Some portions of the administrative block of the Kaduna Command of the Nigeria Police Headquarters in Bombay has been razed by fire that gutted some offices. Aminu Omar reports that no casualty was recorded to the inferno.
The fire, which started yesterday noon, affected the first floor of the administrative block, which houses some offices, including that of the commissioner. The CP, who was already in the office, immediately contacted the State Fire Service, whose swift response helped in preventing the fire from escalating to other places.
The first floor of the command have been affected. Many offices were engulfed with the fire. Investigation into this has commenced, whereas the fire was suspected to be from an electric source.
The command spokesperson, Abdullahi Haruna Kiawa, further confirmed that the Criminal Investigation Department was not affected, adding that no suspect or any other person is affected. Kano State Deputy Governor Nasir Yusuf Gawuna visited the command, where he delivered the state government's sympathy to the Nigeria police over the inferno. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State has expressed confidence in the leadership capacity of the PDP governorship candidate Titus Uba if elected as governor in the forthcoming elections. He stated these when the governorship hopeful unveiled his blueprint titled Soil as Our Oil at the PDP Secretariat Makadi. Charles Abba reports.
Governor Samuel Otom pointed out that the blueprint unveiled by the PDP governorship standard bearer Titus Uba, christened Soil Our Oil, touched every strand of human needs.
And I expect Titus Uba and many will do better than myself.
The governorship hopeful, Titus Uba, explained that the document is two-pronged: security and agriculture. He maintained that the crux of the blueprint is security, while the economic driving force is agriculture, which is Benue's natural endowment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all aware that when God created the unit in Nigeria as a country, every part of this country, section or senatorial zone, is endowed uniquely. And when you go to the middle way, what do you have? Soil. And that's why today, you talk about agriculture, you talk about the Benue yam, the Benue mango, the Benue orange, and all of that.
Acting state chairman of PDP, Isaac Kumfo, and the director of the party's campaign council, Cletus Tokia, said the blueprint is an outcome of in-depth research on the security and socio-economic challenges of the state. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
18 persons are said to have died in an accident involving a truck conveying some supporters of People's Democratic Party (PDP) from the governorship campaign and Central Zone rally in Juak Village, Panyamango local government area of Plateau State. The police public relations officer Plateau State, Alfred Alabo, who confirmed the incident, says those who sustained injuries are responding to treatment in the various health institutions of the state. Meanwhile, the PDP governorship candidate Caleb Mutfwang described the incident as unfortunate and prayed God to repose the souls of the deceased. Governor Simon Lalong commiserating with the families of the victims and those who sustained injuries. In a statement by the Director of Press, Marcud Simon Marcham, the governor appealed to motorists to exercise extra caution during ongoing political campaigns. The APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised the Nigerian women more than 35% they are asking for if elected. The APC Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim disclosed this in Birnin Kebbi during her Northwest tour. Hassana Abubakar Koko has the report.
The APC Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim said the visit aimed at spreading the gospel of APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima alongside other candidates across board. Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim, who lauded the achievements recorded in the state under the leadership of Governor Bagudu, especially on areas of education and women empowerment, charged women in the state to take advantage of the extension made by INEC and obtain their PVCs and ensure they vote for APC come February elections.
Every state we go to, we bring or tape what the governorship candidate has done, and then we urge our party members to use that and spread the news of our manifestos so that other women will know about it and then vote for our party.
The Northwest Zonal Coordinator of the Tinubu Shettima Women Campaign Team, also the wife of Kebbi State Governor Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu, represented, assured that no stone will be left unturned to ensure that all APC candidates from top to bottom emerged victorious at the polls.
The state women are fully in charge and fully in attendance to be part of the 2023 general election. APC in Kebbi State, as you can see, is the only party.
The team had earlier paid visits to the wives of APC gubernatorial candidate Nasir Idris Kaurangwandu. From Birnin Kebbi, Hassana Abubakar Koko, NTA News.
And Enugu is our next port of call, where Chinaya is standing by to keep us up to speed with happenings from that zone.
Thank you so much, Olajide. Welcome to Enugu. The 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Enugu was a brief and solemn event that captured the essence of the selflessness and patriotism exemplified by the Nigerian soldiers, dead and alive, who also put their lives on the line of defense of the nation. The event held at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Michael Opera Square, Enugu. Susan Eze reports.
The military parade and other activities synonymous with this celebration set the tone for a memorial of the gallantry of the Nigerian army and the sacrifices of those who paid the supreme price. The Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi led the team for the traditional laying of wreath.
Yes, the essence of this